Okay, so now let's look at this. Okay, so now let's look at this. Please, can you confirm you can see my screen before I move on? Okay. So let's look at this data set. This is what we'll be analyzing. We'll be doing basic analyzing today. So I want to employ everyone to listen very well because it gets tricky here. We'll be doing some data cleaning, then we'll be applying all we've learned up to the very moment. So I want everyone to listen attentively. And anytime you cannot understand or you cannot hear me or you cannot see my screen, please don't hesitate to call me. Right. So let's understand this particular data sets. So we can see we have student performance. That is, this data set is about student performance. We have a whole lot of students here. We want to know how good they are doing, whether they should continue. We should continue how we are how we are handling them, or will they continue school? Okay, I should share the data set with you. Yeah, sure. Let me share it. Just give me a minute, sorry. Okay, it has been sent on the group chat, please. You can just confirm it on the group chat. So you want to know these students' performance, right? So we have the information about different students. So we collect different, like 20,000 students. We want to know how they are performing in this particular school, whether they should continue, or if they are successful in their education, what should we encourage? If they are not successful in their education, what should we do? What caused their failure? Um, Possibly. So now, because I know this is a CXV file, well, don't let me talk about that one now. So the first thing I want to do is I want to change my the name here. So I can see something like student performance skilled 2000. I want to remove this skilled 2000. How can we edit the name of a worksheet? We all know this is a worksheet, right? So you can either double click. When you double click, you can see my cursor is there, so I can easily change it to student performance only, right? Maybe that's my students performance. Yeah. So also I can just right click and rename it. If you don't want to double click, you can also right click. Then there will be a pop-up where you see your rename button. So you can also rename it using this particular function. So that's one step. That's one of data cleaning step. So the next thing we talked about the use of if function last time. So I will be tackling different data cleaning method on how to clean data set and what do we do when we see a new data set, when we upload or when we upload the data set into Excel. What do we do? How do we go about it? And how do we understand the data set? We already know that this data set is about students' performance, how they've performed over the years or in this particular semester, what caused their success or what's the root cause for their failure. That's what we want to analyze or want to get in this particular data. So if you get the data, it looks like this. So what's the next step? So the next step is you want to click on any of the data. We can see there's an intersection between the rows and the column here. We have column A, column B, we have row one, row two, row three. But there is an intersection, there's an arrow here where if I you can see my cursor now looks like a fat plus now. But when I hover it over my column A, it looks like a downward arrow. But on row one, you can see it look like a rightward arrow. But there is a place here, the middle or the intersection between rows and column. If you just click on that one, it will highlight all the old cell present in Excel. So you can just double click on the borderline between any of these columns. And see, we have a borderline in between this one. You can also double click between the borderline of between C and D, column C and D. Any borderline, let's just double click on this borderline and let's see the difference. So we can see everything is spread out. We can easily see all the information present in the data sets. So now we can see we have our gender here, we have internet access, probably maybe they have internet access or they don't have internet access. Maybe they have internet access or they don't have internet access. We can see parental education. We all know this can affect their students' performance. When if the parents have low education, they might not put enough effort into their students or their children education performance. So we also have type of school type. How many people are going to private university or private school? How many people are going to public school? We also have health status. How as their health status affects their performance. We also have region. Okay, is it people from the north that are failing the most or they have the most pass rate, sorry, or the people from the east or from the west or whatever. So the level, we have the class and stuff like that. Then we have attendance rate, we have study per hours. Then we have assignments submitted, how many people submit the assignment and absences and stuff like that. So now let's look at this. So we've understood the data set. So can I just ask question? If you understand the data set, can you reply with an emoji or something so I can know you are the person? Before we start the real class. Do you understand the data set? Yes or no? If you understand, you can unmute your mic or reply with an emoji. So only one person understand the data set. Ha. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on. So the next thing you want to do is you want to click on I told you what a range or a table means the last time. A table is called a range of values is called a table when there is no empty space, because I know there is no empty space here. Just want to click on your data, then you want to what's that?
Sorry, please, I can't see your phone.
Wow. Please can anyone see my screen? I want to know if it is your network or it's my network. Can anyone see my screen? Please can you unmute so I can know if you can see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Okay. Because I think it's your
Okay,
network.
it's just showing up
So can you
now. I can see it
okay in
now.
case it's okay, great. So you can just click on the data tab, right? So we have a long way to go. So I will try to speed it up a little bit now. But in case you don't understand, please try to unmute your mic or type it in the comment section or reply with an emoji so I will know you are with us. So under the data tab, you want to unleash your or you want to activate the filter button. So once I activate the filter button, I can see the drop down on each column header. So now let's look at what is present in this particular column. If I click on this header, I can see if I click on this header, I can see we have different type of gender. But to us, we all know we have two genders, which are boys and maybe male and female. So, but in this case, we have different type of gender. We have boys, we have female, we have females, we have ladies, we have male, we have men, we have unknown. But we all know that boys is also is synonymous or is also implying to male. It's also the same as men. So in this particular case, how do we, and that's why I said data can be dirty. This example of data, dirty data now, because if I should count the number of boys might be 20. Let's say, for example, number of boys might be 20, number of female might be 20, number of females might be 20, everything 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, which in the actual sense, the male gender is actually supposed to be, let's say 120, the female gender is supposed to be 120, but we have them in different category now. So how can we make them a singular, how can we substitute them so we can have a singular representation for each gender? So that's what we call data cleaning. So data can be actually dirty, but we have different various way on how to go about this. One of the way is what we did last week, which was if function. So now let's try to let me just copy. Let me just copy. So I just copy part of a row, right? So we have female, we have let me change this one to females. So we have females. Let's say you have men here. So we have unknown, we have females. Okay, great. So if I am actually supposed to don't let me get there now. So now how can we change this? So we have something we call if function. So from the word if function, it's saying checks whether a condition is met and return one value if true or another value if false. So what we want to do is that if this particular guy is a female, okay, return a female. If it is a male, return a male. Basically, that's what we want to do. So in this particular case, to use if is actually used when we have two different words. Let's say we have something like 0 and 1. So 0, let's say 0 means no and 1 means yes. So whenever we have 0 in our value, we want to change it to no. Whenever we have 1, we want to change it to yes. So we want to write something like equals to if, because this is a logical function. So you click, you have to click on your tab key. So it is asking for logical test. You want to ask, okay, if this particular 0, and you can see it is writing something like as J8. What is the meaning of J8? That is column J08. You can't see my screen. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
can
seeing
anyone
it.
see my screen? What do you say?
I can see
I
it
can't
now,
hear you.
sir.
I think it was your network the other time. Okay, so we can see something like J8. What is the meaning of J8? J8 means column J row 8, and that's why we have J8. Now it is asking for logical test. What is the meaning of logical test? That is, if J8 is equals to what? Logical test, if something is less than, equals to, greater than, or equals to, all those stuff. That's what we call logical test. Okay, if this particular cell function in J8 is what I want to say equals to 0, that is, whenever this particular cell is equals to 0, then I want to write comma. We can see after logical test, it is asking for a comma. So add comma. So it is asking me, okay, if this particular thing is actually 0, what should I return? Return yes. Now, if you notice something, before I write my yes, I put it in quotation mark. Why? Because we call it a text data type. Whenever you are typing a text data type, you have to put it in a quotation mark. So you can see when I write 0, I did not add any quotation mark because it is a numerical data type. Whenever you are writing a numerical data type, you don't want to put it in a quotation mark, so you have to add your 0. So also we have value if false. Okay, if this particular thing is not 0, but we have 2 or we have 3 there, what should we return? Return no. Sorry, 0 should mean no. I think I did a mistake there. 0 should mean no. And then if it is not 0, it should return what? Yes. So enter. So you can see it is answering no. But now let's say I drag this particular thing. You can see my cursor now. It looks like a plus arrow, fat plus arrow. But when I click on this small box here at the end of this cell, you can see it changes to a tiny plus arrow. So if I drag the formula here, so now it is asking for name. So now let's look at the problem. Let me check the problem here. Oh, okay. So we have to why it is returning error is because this years that I wrote here was actually supposed to be in quotation mark, right? Because it is a function, it is sorry, text data type. So you have to put it in. What have I done? Let me correct the mistake here again. So I guess it should work now. So let me try to apply it again. I drag it down. Then I can see it is returning yes because it is 1. So we can see J9 equals to 0. What's J9? This particular cell. The cell content here is J9. You can see J column J row 9 is equals to 1, Abby. Since it is not equals to 0, if J9 is 0, return no. But J9 is 1, and that's why it is returning yes. So that's what we call if function. We are trying to replace whenever we have 0, replace it with no, and whenever we have 1, replace it with yes. And the same value, we can also do it using our replace function. Remember, I told us how to do our replace function. Under our home tab, you can just click on find and select, then we can click on replace. That is, whenever we have, what are we finding? We are finding 0. Whenever we have a 0, we replace it with what? No. Right? So you want to replace all. So, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So you can see, I actually have a no here, and that's what we call a replace function. I'm having a name because um I directed, let me just do it. So I'll not explain it. This formula was attached to this particular cell. So this one changed to no, and that's why it was returning error. So now I can actually use my replace function to replace it. That's another way. So we have different way of solving it. But let's say this one, this is just two values. That is, whenever we have 0, return no. Whenever we have, if we don't have 0, return yes. That's just two values. But in case we have more than just two value that we want to replace, so what should we do? In this case, we want to use what we call ifs function. So basically, it's just if, but that can accept more than one value or more than two value. So you can see checks whether a condition, one or more condition are met, and return a value corresponding to the first true condition. Now, this is what ifs. Open your time, press your tab key. What's the logical test? That is, if this girl, we have female, right? If it is equals to female, right? If it is equal to female, it is asking me value if two. Sorry, if A2 is equals to female, okay, comma, value if two. What should we return? Return male and female. Yes, return female. Return female, right? So it is asking me for logical test. To remember, it is not asking me for if it is false in this particular case. Okay, I think I should just use replace to explain this one. So I will still explain what ifs mean, but let's use replace for this one. So I want to replace all the values here. So let me just, I've highlighted it. I'm going to my replace here. So the first thing I want to do is, when I see a female, I'm not replacing female. Female is great. Male, I'm not replacing male. But when I see females, what should I replace it with? I want to replace it with females. I want to replace it with female. Sorry, female with an S, with a S. I want to replace it with female without the S. So you can see females, female. Then I want to replace. So we can see we've made two adjustments. So the next thing I want to do is, I actually want to do we have male? We have male with capital letter M. We have male with small letter m. So I want to clean that one too. That is, whenever we see male with small letter M, which is what we are finding, return a male with capital letter M. So replace all. So we can see we've done 14 replacements. So what else? Oh, Control Z. Oh, sorry. Replace. I have to click on this one because it did rubbish. Okay. What else? I can see we have female, male, female. We have boys now. So because boys is actually referring to male, right? So I want to replace this one too. So let me just click on this one. That's how to clean now. I'm trying to clean it one by one. So replace, what am I replacing? I'm finding what? Boys. And I'm replacing boys with what? With male. That's it. Wherever we see boys in this particular row, replace it with what? Male, which is good. So replace all, we've done one replacement. So I can see everything that is now female, male, female, male, female, unknown. Unknown, you can't easily say if it is male or female. So you want to leave that one. Female, male, female, male. Then we have men. So whenever we have men, we want to change it to male. So what are we finding in this case? We are finding what? Men. And we are changing it to what? Male. So replace all. You can see we've done one replacement. So now we can see we have just three gender, which is female, male, and unknown, which is quite good. So if I'm to count this particular cell, I can see I have female, like maybe three female, like 10 female, 10 male, then two unknown or three unknown, something like that. And that's how to clean data sets. Do we all understand that part, or I should go over it again? Do you understand? Or I should go over it again? What say? Oh, okay. So people understand, understood. So now let's go. So let's say that's how to clean this particular agenda. But remember, we've not applied it to this particular case. But let's try to do that now. Um, how to clean this one. So let's go. So replace. I'm sorry, because I just used that one as what do we call it, as sample, so we can understand what I'm doing. So I'll be applying it to the real data set now. So the first thing I want to, yeah, you can ask your question. I can hear you. So we
Okay,
can see
because
what.
we cleaned this to male. Hello. We replaced boys with male. Doesn't it matter if the M starts with small letter or capital letter? Are they still not there
Okay,
to read like the data?
now let's show the implication of this thing, because maybe because we are not using the visual implication, visual explanation. But now let me introduce you to something we call power pivots, or yeah, power pivot. So oh, sorry, I said power pivots, pivot table. Some people call it power pivot though, but I think that's a cake name. So I'm not actually supposed to do this today because it was slated for tomorrow. But anyway, we have a head start. So let's introduce you to power pivot. When you click your insert menu, insert tab, you can see one thing under the tables section, you can see pivot table. So once you click on your pivot table is asking for, okay, what should I summarize? Because pivot table is actually something that summarizes everything inside a particular table. So it is asking me for, okay, I'm trying to summarize student performance. We all know that I've um, I've renamed this particular table to be student performance. Then you can see something like A1, that is from column A1 to column 20,001. That means this particular data set is 20,000. So it is asking for a new sheet. So yes, you want to click on OK. So I can see my pivot table here. So now let's say this is our gender. That is, this is the gender. I'm trying to summarize everything on this gender. So I can just drag my gender to rows, right? I can see these are all the labels I have. So let's drag my genders to values. That is, I want to count my values, my gender. So I can see we have 20,000, everything equals to 20,000. We have 20,000 data sets, right? So, but normal, we all know that boys is supposed to be the same thing as men. That is, this particular data set is faulty. This particular conclusion is faulty. We are actually supposed to have three stuff. We're actually supposed to have, let's say, boys, I'm sorry, male, male, female, and unknown. Right? So for male, the answer should be, because this is this one plus this one plus, I think, plus this one. Enter. Okay. So the male is actually supposed to be 13,030 people, while female is supposed to be, for female, I'm adding this one plus females plus, do we have anyone? Okay, ladies. So we can see, so now we can see this is the accurate value, but we are having different value, and that's why we are I'm emphasizing on data cleaning. Just imagine you said boys 1,969, male 9,005, men, when you can actually clean everything to mean the same thing, and you have the real number for male gender, the real number for female gender, and the real number for unknown gender. Do you understand why we are cleaning data now? But you were asking something that does the case matter? No, it doesn't matter actually, but because you can see male, you can't see the small letter M, but it doesn't really matter. But you have to do something as a professional. You have to do something that make your word readable, and that's why I'm changing it. Do you understand now, brother?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so now let's try to apply. We've spent a lot of time explaining that one. So now I want to replace. So what am I replacing? Whenever I see men, replace with what? Male, replace all. So we said we've done this one. Whenever I see, let's say boys, replace with replace all, because I know what am I trying to replace again? Females. Whenever I see females, replace with female. So what else? Whenever I see ladies, replace with female. So what else? Okay, if you want to know if everything is correct, you can see we already have three gender. Now we have female, we have male, we have unknown by using the filter button. Now let's say we have um internet access. So we already know we have N, we have no, we have unknown, we have Y, we have yes. What do you think? Can anyone tell me what do you think N and Y mean? Oh yeah, someone should unmute the mic, so please.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. So if I should count the number of n, it will be giving me a number. But you want to replace n should to be no, and you want to replace y to be yes. So can anyone also unmute their mic on how to go about this one? How can I clean this particular column? Oh yeah. Someone please unmute. How can I use
And
my
you
replace
find
function?
that and replace. Find
Okay, so
N and replace with no. Find Y and replace with yes.
thank you. So I'm finding n and replacing it with what? N O, right? So and also I'm finding y and replacing it with what? Yes. Okay, thank you. So you can actually check the drop down and I can see I have known, no, yes. Then we have blank. Blank and unknown should be the same thing because blank means nothing is filled. Then unknown means nothing is known. So I should just replace, whenever I see blank, I should replace it with unknown. So you can actually do stuff like that there. So replace, that is whenever I see nothing, this is nothing. I want to replace it with what's unknown. So replace all. So you can see, all done. We made 411 replacements. So let's click on this drop down. So you can see we only have no, yes, and unknown. And that these two particular stuff is now is good now. So we also have parental education. So we have none, we have oh okay. So we have none, that is no education. We have prime, which I'm thinking should be for primary, right? So we have secondary, which is quite good. Then I have tertiary, which I'm thinking should be tertiary education. So, okay. So you know what? Let's replace this one by using our replace function also. So we just want to go under my find and replace. So what am I finding in this case? Whenever I see prime, what am I replacing it with? Please can someone unmute the mic? Anyone? So I just want to know
Primary.
that primary, thank you. So replace all. So you can see I made 1,026 replacements. So I think I have something like tertiary or something. Okay, this is it. Whenever I have tertiary, I should change it to what? Tertiary. So replace all. We have 983 replacements. I think that's all. Let me check. So to check, you just want to click on this drop down. So we have no education. We have primary, secondary, tertiary. So we have blank. So instead of blank, I want to replace it with unknown. So how do I go about that? You just want to click on your find and replace. Replace. That is, whenever we have blank, blank means nothing is written in that particular cell. So replace it with what's unknown. So replace all. So you've made 913 replacements. Okay, so we have school type. So let's go. We have government, we have private, we have private, you have public, we have public. So you want to change whenever we see this private with dots, you want to change it to private. Then you can see this one is like public, right? So you want to change that one too. So the same method you want to use our find and replace. So let's go. We have our find and replace. Let's say whenever we have private with a dot, you want to change it to what? To what? Can someone unmute their mic, please?
Private.
Private.
Private, right? So replace all.
Private.
Okay, it's asking me that to do anything to replace. Okay, probably I made a mistake while writing it. So let me just. Okay, it has been replaced here. It has been like I can only see primary here, so it has been replaced. It has been replaced. So let's go for where is it? Oh, it's sorry, it is school type. I'm supposed to highlight this particular thing, then go for my let's go. Sorry, I think I did the mistake. So now replace or okay, we've made 996 replacement. Okay, that's good. So now I want to change public to what? Can someone unmute that mic? Why are we changing this one to? Hmm?
Public. Public.
Thank you. So we made 4,448 replacements. So you can see when I click on this drop down, I can see we only have government, private, public, which is quite clean now. So now the next thing is we want to click on our health status. We have fair, good, poor, which is quite good. That means there is no dirty in this particular column. So we have our region. We have east, north, southwest. It looks good. Our class level, we have GSS, SS2, SS3. So okay, so another thing is I want to insert a column. Yeah. To insert a column, you have to click on that column header, right click, not left click. Right click on that column header, then you can see a range of options. So I want to insert a column. That's why I'm clicking on insert. So when I insert, let's say I want to do something called aggregates. So that's class aggregates. So now let's know the importance of if function I was trying to explain the other time. Please give me a minute. Okay, so now if function is a logical test value, and I think I've explained what if means the other time. If, but with different value. So now let's say we want to do something like this. Any student that is in SS class, that is probably or maybe in SS1, in SS2, in SS3, you want to replace it with higher level. Anyone in GSS class, maybe GS1, maybe GS2, maybe GS3, you want to replace it with what lower level. So before I go on, let's look at something. We can see we have GSS, we have SS2, we have SS3. That is all GSS are already known as GSS. Then we have SS2 and SS3, no SS1. But I want to replace it with anything, anytime, any student in SS2 and SS3, I want to replace it with SSS, that is senior secondary school. And any student in GSS, I want to replace it with any JSS. So now we'll be writing our if function. It is very simple. Just look at it. Ifs. press your tab key. What's the logical test? That is, if this particular cell, if it is equals to what? If it is equals to SS2, you know why I'm adding a quotation mark? Because it's a text data type. SS2. If it is true, what should I return? Return that SSS. Close your brackets. Now it is asking me logical test 2. Okay, what if this particular cell is not SS2? Okay, I want to ask, I'm now saying, okay, this particular, I want to click on this cell again. If it is now equals to SS3, SS3, what should you return? Return SSS again. SSS. Now it is, I want to do another comma. So it is giving me logical test 3. I want to click on this cell again. If this cell is not SS2, but if it is equals to GSS, because I already know that's what it will be equals to. If it's not SS1, if it's not SS2, it will be GSS, I mean. So if it is equals to JSS, right? So it is asking me, what should they return? Now return DSS again. So I close my brackets. So now let's look at the code. If this particular cell content, if it is SS2, what will it be returning? It will be returning SSS, that is senior secondary school. If this particular cell content, if it is SS3, it will be returning what? SSS. If it is GSS, it will be returning DSS also. That's what we just write. It looks like a lot of code, but it is very, very simple. I hope you all understand. So now let's click on enter. So you can see it is returning SSS, which is quite easy, which is quite normal because it is SS2. Now, if I should drag it here, you can see my cursor shape. It looks like a fat plus arrow. But when I go over this small box, this green box, you can see it change to a thinner plus arrow. If I drag it here, so it is giving me SS because this is SO SS3. But look at this. If I click on this formula, you can see it has changed to G3. That is, it is now extending to this particular G3. Now, if I should drag this particular formula to, let's say, to this place, you can see this GSS is returning GSS, SS2 is returning SS, SS3 is returning SS, and that's what we use this particular function for. We still understand the use case, but let's say we have 20,000 as I have 20,000 rows, so you don't expect me to be dragging it one by one. That's quite enormous, or that's stressful. So we can just double click 1, 2, then everything up to the last arrow, up to the last cell that has been filled. We just do click. That's how to click double click it, and that's how to clean the cell. So you can actually see this class aggregate. So I want to know in my cell, I want to know, okay, who has the most pass rates and who has the most failure rates. That's what I'm doing. Okay, is it the senior class or is it the junior class? Who fails the most? That's why I'm doing SSS and GSS here. So we have attendance rates. You can also do something here. So basically, I'm just thinking about data cleaning. What do you want to ask? Huh?
Please, can you come again? I don't understand it.
Oh, okay. So now let's use this one to explain it. You're welcome. So now let's look at something. I will understand, I will explain, but I'm using another column entirely so we can move on. But we are doing the same thing using ifs function. So we have study hours per week. Because this is students' performance, I want to know how many. Okay, let's just look at the drop down. We have 0. Then we have students that read for 25 hours. That is, students read between 0 to 24 hours, 25 hours. So now let's say if you are reading between 0 to 5 hours in a week, we will now say, let me just write it here. If you are reading between 0 to 5 hours, you have high probability of failure. HP means high probability of failure. Let's just write something like that. So if you are reading between 6 to 10, fail. Maybe you can fail. Sorry, 6 to 10. 6 to Okay, 6 to 10. Then if you are reading between 11 to, let's say, 15, so let's say you will passing, that's pass 15. Let's say pass. Right. So if you are reading between 16 hours to 20 hours, so let's say that's what can we use again? So I've run out of words. Pass, let's say that's is it good? Let's say good. So 21 to 25. You are reading between 21 to 25. That's what do you say? Excellent.
Very good. Very good.
So let's say this 10, 6 to 10, but you are reading poor. Let's say something like poor. Let's say this one is very poor. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do is, how many people are reading very poorly? How many people are reading poorly? How many people are reading in average manner? So how many people are reading in excellent manner? So instead of whenever we have anything, now I want to write an if function. That is, whenever we have any number below 5, return very poor. Whenever we have any number below 10, return poor. Whenever we have any number below 15, return pass. Whenever we are, that's what we are trying to do. I want to use is function. Please, can someone cram this? Because I will not be able to come back. Please just cram this value because I'll be needing it. So now let's do it here. You want to insert a new column here. Oh, why is my computer hanging? I don't know. Okay, great. So now let's say equals to is, right? Your is function. So what's the first thing? 0 to 5, I mean, if this particular cell content, it is 8.8, but I know the cell content in this particular column is between the range of 0 to 25. I already know that by checking the drop down. So if it is less than 5, that's a logical test. Then after logical test, I'm following this thing. I'm not cramming anything. That's comma. If it is less than 5, return what? Very poor, Abby. So I want to put very poor. Okay, if it is not less than 5, we are done with that one. Okay, someone is asking a question. Please, can you ask the question before I move on? Mafuzo.
Sorry, you said less than 5, but the one you did, it has 5 in it. Like, I'm asking, would it, if you say less than 5,
Okay.
that's just like
You
0,
can
1,
just
2,
say
3.
less than or equals to. Thank you. Sorry, I did not think about that. This is actually a logical function also. Less than or equals to 5, it should return very poor. Okay, thank you. So it is asking you for logical test too. Okay, if this particular cell content again, if it is less than 10 or equals to less than or equals to 10, I think what did I use to represent that one again? Very poor. I think poor,
Oh,
Abi. So quotation mark. If this cell content is less than or equals to 10, that should be 15. 15. I don't know why I don't know why my computer is hanging. Okay, let me just continue here. Why is it hanging? Okay, now let's just continue here. I mean, we can edit it in the formula box, right? So if J2 or it is less than 15, that is this J2, if it is less than 15, what am I returning again? Sorry.
pass, pass, pass.
Okay, pass. Okay. If this J2, it is asking for logical test for. I want to click on this cell content again. If it is less than or equals to 20, what am I returning? Pass. I think
Good. Hello, mommy.
good.
I'm in a
Okay.
class.
If this one is less than or equals to 25, What are we returning? What are we returning?
Excellent.
Excellent.
And
Okay, thank you. So now, because I'm done with my kidney, I don't have any function again. So I want to close my bracket, then click enter. So this one is returning 4. Remember, 4 falls between 6 to 10, which is normal. So now I want to apply this function to this one. If I should apply it to this one, if you look at this one, remember it is J2, 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 J2. That is the content in J2. But now if you apply it to this one, you can see it is now J3, 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 J3. That is anything inside this particular cell is now applied to this one. But because this one is 20,000, I cannot be dragging it one by one. So I can just double click 1, 2, then everything has been applied to every cell content there. If you look at it down, so you can see we have 7. You can see it is poor. You can see 9.9 has been replaced with poor. 14.8 has been replaced with 5. Do you understand now? Bakiyama, do you understand now? Bakia, do you understand? Are you with us? Bakia, do you understand? Okay, I guess she's not with us. Okay, that's how we do class performance aggregates. Let me just name that class performance aggregates. Okay. So assignment submitted too. So you can also do the same for assignment submitted, absence. You want to name it, how many people, how many times are you absent and stuff like that. So now that we are already done with our data cleaning, everything is looking good. Let me check this one. So we have pass and fail only, which is quite good. Right, we have pass and fail only, which is quite good. So now let's go to we've cleaned the data sets. You can see we spent literally like we started like 4:30 and this is almost 5:24. We used almost an hour cleaning data, but this is not even the dirtiest data I've ever seen. So you know there are a lot of job to do. So now let's go to our pivot table. I want to rename this one. That's why I double click it. Let's say pivot table. So now let me introduce you to pivot table. So the next thing is I want to refresh because I've done some data cleaning. So you want to go to your data tab. You can see something refresh all. That is all the changes you've made. So it can reflect inside your data, inside your pivot table. So if I refresh it now, you can see boys, females, because I've changed this one to male and female and unknown only. So to effect these changes, you just want to go to your data tab, click on refresh all. Uh, okay, just give it a minute.
Excuse me, can I make a suggestion, please?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, you can.
Okay, so when you click on any of the tab around the pivot table, it's going to bring two more suggestion. That's analyze and design. Then under the analyze, you're going to see refresh.
I'm sorry. I don't get what you're trying to say. I'm trying to, and I did not save it though.
Like when you
Okay.
click on, you can click on the either of the row or count of gender. It's going to bring two extra.
Hello. Hello. Is she there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I was not quite sorry. Can you repeat your question?
Now, I'm not asking a question. I'm just trying to make. Okay,
Oh, okay,
that's
okay. Can you
that's
can
me.
you can you repeat your suggestion? You were saying something I had not heard, so I said, can you repeat it?
I was not asking a question. I was just making a suggestion when the thing was not refreshing. Well, I've seen it as done.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so you can see it as the changes have been effected now. So that's how to effect the change. So now let's just make some inference with our stuff. So you can just do Control C. You can see I highlight everything before the Control C. So I can see a lot of males are in this school, then followed by females. Then we don't know 992 gender. So let's click, let's Control V. That is, we are pasting our what do you say, our pivot table here. So now we just do some simple analysis today. So let's say how many pass rates do we have, Safe? Let's check out how many pass rates do we have. So I'm whenever I click on this one, you can see the first thing it is going into rows because it is categorical data. What's categorical data? It is text data type. That's why it is going into row. Row and column are basically the same thing. I can drag it into column also. You can see it is now in column way, but in a way I prefer it to be in rows. But basically they are doing the same thing. So you can, let's drag it into values. So you can actually count how many fail value do we have, how many pass number do we have. So we have a lot of people failed, 14,014 people failed, and 5,986. Now I want to know, okay, what can cause this? Who are the people that fail? Is it more male or more female? I feel like it will be more male because they have the most number, obviously. So now let's check how many gender failed. So now, because categorical data is gender, gender is also a categorical data, that is a text data type. So, and the rows is already occupied. So I can just drag my gender into column. So you can see fail, I have female, the female that failed, they are 4,000, yeah, 4,068. The female that passed are 1,018, sorry, 1,810. Okay, 9,169 passed. Sorry, failed in male and 3,861 passed in male gender. So they are none, then we have our grand total. So basically, this is how to make some inference. You can say, okay, these are the people that failed, these are the people that pass and stuff like that. We can do a lot of things here. Let's say if I want to make a decision here as a data analyst, I will not be using number because let's look at something like this. We have 5,000, we have almost 6,000 females, right? And almost like what do you say? Almost like 60% of them failed. Male, almost like 70% of them failed. So let's say I want to do something like this. Instead of counting, so you can see we have a little drop down here. So we want to click on this drop down. You can see something we call value feed setting. So instead of show value as count, I want to show value as percentage. So you can see something. We have summarize value, then we have show value as. Remember, I click on show value as. Instead of no calculation, I want to see what percentage. Let's just say column total, then we have okay. Can you see 70% female failed, 70% male failed. So in a way, it's not about the number, it's about the percentage that failed. That means if females were 13,000 or so, they will still have the same number as male. So 70% are failing and 30% made the mark. So to reach a conclusion now, I'll just say a lot of people, 70% of students in this particular field, in this particular school are failing. I'll not say male fails the most. No, they don't fail the most. They just have more number, and that's why they failed. It looks like they failed the most. But in this particular case, 69.72 and 70.37 can still be equated to 70%. So both of them have the same fail rate. And okay, what can cause it? Is it that they don't have parents that have genuine education, or they don't have internet access, and those are the things you want to do. So now let's just look at that. So I can just do my Control C, that is I'm highlighting what do we say, a pivot table, Control C. So I want to know if internet access is affecting them. So now internet access, I want to know gender, internet access, and what else, and the pass rates. So gender, I want to know because I don't need this one, so I want to drag it away. You can just drag it out. So you can see I have okay. So let's just click on, where is it, gender. So if I click on gender, it's going here. So I want to drag this one out. What do I need? I want to know how many people that pass internet access. Let's drag this internet access into our column. So you can see we have no, we have yes, we have okay. How many female that have no internet access failed? How many female that are unknown, that is their gender is not known? How many of them failed that has no internet access? That's basically what we want to do. So let's go to the pass or fail rate, then let's put values there. You can see we have no internet access, I believe. Yes, we have no internet access, we have yes internet access. So you want to say people, these are the people that pass. What am I doing? I think I'm doing something that's, we have count of pass or fail. Okay, this is not supposed to be the right approach. Let me delete it. Sorry, let's do another one. Control C. I want to know how many people that pass, how internet can you affect them. So now let's do something like this. Pass or fail, then internet access. So let's drag this one to column. That is okay. How many people that that not have any internet access? How many of them failed, and how many of them passed? So that's what I want to do. Let's put this one into values. The pass or fail over. So you can see a lot of people that don't have internet access. A lot of them failed. Why small? What do you say? Internet access, sorry. Yes, internet access means you have internet access. So a lot of people who have internet access, you can see a lot of people who have internet access, they failed though. Wow. So a lot of people that have no internet access to, they failed. A lot of people that have internet access to failed. Wow. So that means internet access is not the rudiment of failure in this particular school. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Hello, am I with everyone who I've took everyone under the bus? Hello, please, if you are with me, repeat, reply with an emoji or something. Okay,
I understand. Well
okay,
done.
people are actually still with me. That's great. Okay, I was thinking like threw everyone under the bus, but I was just trying to make a decision because I don't have a question I don't have a business question I'm working towards. I'm just exploring this data set. I want to know the rudiments, what make people fail. Is it because of internet access? But I can actually see even people that have internet access still failed. So it's not because of internet access or not internet access. So now I want to go and look at um is it because of their parents? Maybe because their parents do not have enough education. Does that affect them? That's what I want to check now. So I want to highlight this one again, Control C, Control V. So what do I want to do now? I want to know how their parent education affect them. So I want to drag this one out, drag this one out. This is more like I'm creating a new pivot table from the scratch. So now let's say parental education. Then I want to look at the pass rates. Sorry, I want to drag pass of fail inside this one. So how many people failed, how many people pass? So I want to drag this one into the values again so I can get the values. So let's arrange this one. To arrange, I've taught us how to sort. So you just click on the values, click on the value, right click on it. So you have a sort here. You can just click on sort largest to smallest. So you can actually see secondary. People with secondary education fail the most. Wow. People with no education self did not fail as much as people with secondary education. Wow. Wow. So anyway, this is a dummy data set. What I mean by dummy data set is it's not a real life data set. So it's normal what we are trying to do. We are just exploring the data. So what else? What else can we do? Okay, let's just do another one. Let me highlight this one, Control C, Control V. So I want to know the one I did the other time, which is class aggregates. Can you see how many GSS pass, how many GSS fail? So I want to know if we should put our energy on GSS or we should put our energy on SS class. So GSS that failed were not that much because the number of GSS students that we have is not even that much. But SS2 and SS3, they are the one that failed the most. So they are not ready for JAMB and stuff like that. So you can actually see I'm making some decision that, okay, these people are not ready for external examination because of their failure rate is over the roof. So basically that's how, assuming we have business question or something the shareholder or the stakeholder ask us to do. So we can actually see it. But in this particular case, I'm trying to look at what can be the root cases, even though we still have a lot of things to explore. Okay, is it their absence in class, the truancy they are playing? Is it the one that affects them? Is that why they are failing that much? Is it because there's no disciplinary action? Is it because people are not submitting assignments? Yeah, there is a lot of things. Is it because of their study hours per week? Is it because of their attendance rates? We can explore. Is it because of the region they are in? Does that contribute to their failure rates? Is it because of their school type? Is it because of their health status? You can continue to explore as much as possible. And when we are done exploring, then we can reach a conclusion. Actually, if I explore everything, you still have some correlation, then you can actually link, okay, let's say because of the region, let's say people from the north, for example, please don't take it to heart. If you are from the north, don't take it to heart. So let's say people from the north have the most failure rates. You can just say, okay, because there is people in the north well, are prone to failing external exam because they are not maybe the incompetency of teachers or incompetency of inadequate equipment, teaching equipment. So there can just be a lot of factors, but this is how we explore data. I think I've done a little justice to introduction to pivot table. By tomorrow, we'll be looking at new data sets with I will be supplying a business question. Then we also progress in our function and formulas. I think we all know how to clean data set a little bit. We know introduction to pivot table a little bit. We know how to explore data set a little bit. We don't need to know everything in one day. It's 3 months journey. So we'll be there. Tomorrow we'll be doing a real data set. Then we'll be exploring the data sets to get some correlation. Probably that one will be better. So yeah, do you have any question before we call it a day? Okay, someone raised their hand. Okay, can I ask? Can I hear a question?
Okay, thank you so much for the class. The question I want to ask is, in a real data analysis project, would the questions be provided by the person that gave us the project, or I don't know, ask the questions in order to get whatever it is we're going to get from the project.
So in a real data set, let's say I'm working, I'll give you example using two instances. So let's say I'm working on final year projects. I want to know if people that are rich, right? If they are prone to cholera disease, or let's say diabetes, if people that are rich are prone to diabetes, or if people that are poor are prone to diabetes. My own bias will be because you are rich, you can afford all the sweet things and stuff, so you are prone to having diabetes. Because you are poor, you cannot even afford 3 square meals, so you will not even have time, or you will not have enough money to buy desserts for, and you will have less diabetes. So I already know my question, my business question, that okay, I want to know who are prone, or what is the causative factor of diabetes. Is it because of the wealth? Let's just say the status, the financial status. So I will keep exploring. Okay, is it because now in my exploration, I cannot find, okay, it's not actually because of wealth or whatever. It is maybe because of genetic factor. Is that my bias is because of, maybe because of their wealth. But when you carry out the exploration, or you carry out the, yeah, we call it exploration, you explore the data sets, the research numbers you collected, then you can actually see from the research that it was not actually because of their financial status, but because of their genetic that cause diabetes. So you have a end goal. In this particular case, remember my end goal was to find the causative reason why people are failing. And that's what I'm trying to explore. Is it because of their secondary? Is it because of their parental education, which was what I did here? Is it because of, we did a lot actually. I think I've, okay, somewhere. Is it because of their gender? I noticed that, okay, it is not actually because of their gender. Is it because of the school? You have to know, is it because of the school type? There are still a lot of things we can do, but it's just 2 hours class. You understand? You explore everything. You have the result at the back of your mind. Okay, that's one. So let's say you are working as a data analyst in a company. You already know, let's say they are trying to improve revenue. You know, you are trying to improve revenue. So you explore the data sets. Most of the time they do give business question. Okay, let's say I want to know what's eating my money. Let's say I'm a company, I'm a pharmacy store, because yeah, I'm a pharmacy store. I just want to know when I earn profits, what am I spending my money on? You can just say, oh, you are spending a lot of petrol. Let's say I'm earning 1 million profits per month, but the petrol cost is like 600,000, and I have to pay my staffs. My staffs are collecting, like, let's say both of them are collecting 300, that's 600. So I'm paying 1.2 outside, which is more than my profit, and thereby I'm losing as the CEO. So how can I do that? How can I reduce the cost? You just want to suggest as a data analyst that, okay, if you actually remove the what do we call it? If you remove the petroleum cost, first, that is, if you remove the petroleum costs, if you remove 600,000 from the petroleum cost and maybe subscribe to solar electricity, you will be enjoying profits. You know, you have the end goal, but they can just ask you, they can just give you some business question. Hey, data analyst, Mr. Data Analyst, what is eating my money and what can I do to prevent it? So you'll be the one that will explore all the data sets, then you actually find it out, okay, this is actually what is eating your money, and this is what you can do to curb it. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you so much.
Welcome. Okay, do you have another question?
I I think I have
Okay.
because I missed this whole part. Like I missed this whole part, so I'm very lost.
You missed the pivot table part.
Yes, like this pivot table, this separation, this place, this I don't even know what to say. Oh yeah, the
Okay, you know,
pivot table part.
because it's quite
Like I
complex.
stopped at ifs. That's where I stopped. The ifs or
And that's why I'm
is
saying
that
that it's quite complex. If we should say we want to go back then now, but this is where we'll be starting in full tomorrow, pivot table. So it should be very good if you just join tomorrow's class. because it's quite complex. No, I'm sorry. Okay, who else? What has a question? Or you can watch this video when we upload it. What has a question? Okay, thank you. What has a question? Okay, we'll be calling it a day for today. Thank you guys for joining. Have a great day. Bye.